Well, it's Saturday morning and it's already nearly 90 degrees out at, I think it's about 9:30 in the morning, and we're heading up into the hills where we saw those fruits earlier, which I believe is olives. I did some research on the internet and we're going to go harvest a bunch of olives and learn how to process them. I never knew that olives were purple on the tree and that they are turned black by a chemical process. And here I always thought ripe olives were black. We're going to head up the hill to where we found all those olive trees the other day and get a load of them. Here we are at the base of the trail we went up the other day. Actually, it was about 2 weeks ago. So we're going to head up here and look for those olive trees. We got to watch for snakes and make our way up to the hill. At least it's windy, so it won't be too unbearable. That was weird. What was that? Oh, they're upset with us. Listen to them. Just going like mad. And nice stuff. It's very dry in the bush right now. The gum trees shed their bark, and the fire hazard is very bad right now. See, the ground is covered up considerably since we were here last. So, and the sun is intense, so it's really drying up the ground. Which makes it also harder to watch for snakes. Now we've found a bunch of olives growing wild everywhere. Here they are. At least I believe these are olives from my research on the internet. And there's olive trees all around us here. They're just everywhere out here in the wild. So now we're going to harvest a bunch of olives and we'll take them back and cure them. Got some grocery bags here. So olives on the tree you cannot eat. There's a poisonous chemical on them, and they have to be cured in brine or by fermentation before you can eat them, which is what we'll then do when we go back down the hill. So we'll pick a bunch of olives here. These olives are more black than purple, so I'm not sure if the ones we saw earlier were not as ripe, because these we found a little lower down the mountain than the others. Now these are blacker olives, so I know there are different kinds. So just to show, here's the tree we're looking at, and here's a couple. I've already picked this pretty bare over here, but I can't reach the ones up top as well. There's a bunch right up in here, and without damaging the tree I can't really reach them alone. Sort of a drop off here, but there's plenty of olive trees out here and we're just going to keep picking. Here's something else I recognize from North America. See the little yellow flowers? This is the clover-like leaves. This is sorrel. It's a very refreshing herb. It also grows here in Australia in the bush. And it tastes like a little bit like a lemon. It's very nice. Sort of sour. It's full of vitamin C. Nice tasting little treat. Up in the bush. It's nice to see things I recognize. A little snack along the way. Well, there's a little bit of olives in there for now. We found olives just all through here. Is olive trees. Goes on and on and on. Some of them we can't reach. Most of them we can't reach. But we picked what we could for now. And there's some bigger olive trees that I know of that are down further up on the trail that are reachable. But now we know this is a massive load of olives for the future. Here's another olive tree. Some easy pickings right here. They're all just everywhere here. In clumps. Very nice. And we've got about a third of a bucket. So we'll get these and then we're done for the day, I think. Well, we're processing our olives that we picked the other day. And what we're doing is slicing them down to the core. Every single one gets sliced. And this bowl is already done. They're all sliced so that the salt can enter in and seep through to the core. And that'll help leach out the bitter chemical easier. So it's going to take a little while, but we'll get all these done, and then we're going to bathe them in salt water, and the salt solution will bring out that bitter taste, and then we can cure them for eating. So, looking good. We've got our olives all sliced, and we're putting them in this big glass jar where they will stay to be cured. So we'll be back in a minute after we fill up this jar. Alright, well there's our jar filled up and ready to go. Now we're going to mix a 10% solution of water. So if you want to go ahead and put in some salt, and we'll mix the water in there.
10%.
And we'll just roughly measure it out. So I'm stirring my salt mixture right now. I'm going to mix in the salt well. Okay, we'll pour it into the jar of olives here. We'll probably have to mix up another batch. We want to cover these completely. Yeah, maybe a half a batch. That's pretty good there. We'll do another half a batch here. You can stop. Alright, we got our mixture finished here. Let's see, we should need to top this off. And just cover the olives. Oops, I bumped the camera. We need to just cover the olives. There we go. Now, we have to keep the olives submerged, so we have to find something that'll fit inside there. We have to find something that'll just fit in here to keep the olives underwater. Alright? And then we'll be good to go. So now we let that sit for a couple days, and every 2-3 days we empty this out and refill it with the salt mixture. And after about 1 or 2 weeks, all the bitterness will be out of the olives, and then we can cure them for eating.